Hello, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. This is the Great and Powerful Zilla, and today I'm going to talk about a couple of things. First of all, are changes that are coming tomorrow when the patch drops to IFHE and other things. And secondly, I'm going to talk about this ship right here. This is the Tier 10 British heavy cruiser, the HMS Goliath. Now, briefly, before we get started, let me say that I did research on this ship online and I found absolutely nothing about this ship. As a matter of fact, this ship never actually existed. This is a make-believe ship, so it comes from the world of imagination. Okay? But Goliath was the name of 6 ships in the Royal Navy, starting with ships of the line and all the way up to a battleship in World War I to a couple of tugboats in World War II. So Goliath is a pretty common name. It was also used in some fictional movies or TV series or things like that. So it's a pretty common British ship name. So it stands to reason that Wargaming would name the heavy cruiser Goliath. Why not? Right? After all, it's just make believe anyway. So, but in the game, it's very real. So before we get started, let me talk about this. Now, I am loath to believe anything that Dasha Petrova will have to say. But I went and I watched their video on their website. Okay, it's right here. And I watched all the changes that they say are coming to the game. Now, one of the things you need to know about this website, and I'm going to put a picture up right here, okay, is you need to push that button so that you get a free respec because they're changing IFHE. Okay, the IFHE skill as it is today, um, that increases the penetration of high explosive shells. And they want to make it so that you don't have to take this skill if you're in a lightly armed cruiser. All right. So what they did was they changed it so now instead of reducing the chance of fire by a certain percentage, it's going to reduce it by half. So if you have, a 14% chance of fire before, and when you put this on, now it's going to be a 7% chance. You get it? If it's 10% before, it's going to be 5%. All right. So it's going to reduce the chance of a fire happening to any ship by half now instead of a percentage. Also, okay, what it's going to do is it is going to increase the efficiency of high explosive shells. So stuff like the demolition expert and whatnot might be something you might want to look into from now on after the patch tomorrow, because you're not going to need that IFHE skill necessarily on all of your ships. The idea is that cruisers will be able to penetrate cruisers of the same tier. Okay, so with regular HE, we won't need the IFHE. Does that mean you're going to be able to penetrate battleships? No, of course not. Okay, battleships at your same tier. Let's say you're playing a tier 6 and you come across a Congo. All right, you're not going to be able to penetrate the Congo or anything above it. Like a Monarch or something like that. But you will be able to penetrate cruisers of the same tier, all right? So if you're in, I don't know, Hindenburg, and you fire your 8-inch guns at Des Moines, you should be able to penetrate it with high explosive, all right? But they're also increasing the armor on cruisers to make them a little bit more resilient against battleship salvos, all right? So if you angle your cruiser correctly, you should not get blapped by a battleship with one shot. Okay? I don't see how that's going to affect ships that are made out of citadels like the Omaha or the Krasny Krim, but we'll see. We'll see how it works out. They said in the article that they're going to be watching this carefully to see if any additional judgments need to be made. But, well, it remains to be seen. All right? But right now, everything's going to change. Now, if you want your free respec, you got to click that button in the article. And obviously, you have to be logged in order for it to work. And that will give you a free respec until March 16th. March 16th, so 6 days from today. All right? So you will be able to respec any captain on any ship within that period of time. And once you click that button. So that being said, they've changed everything. They made a big to-do about European destroyers coming out. All they had to do was say 2 words to me, which tells me that it's going to be difficult because these destroyers don't have smoke. And if you just told me no smoke, I would have said, okay, thank you. Have a nice day. Why? Because I've been playing this piece of garbage. Now, some people love the French destroyers. I'm having a really hard time. I consider this just to be a suicide machine. In fact, it's so suicidal to run this ship that actually in co op you stand less of a chance of being successful with it than you do in randoms. Because in co op, every bot's going to aim and shoot at you, whereas in randoms, you might be able to get away with something. Its detection is huge, it has no smoke, it's fast, but oh, God, good luck with that, right? So, anyway, back to the Goliath. All right, what do we got in the game? We've got a pretty damn good cruiser here, guys. There's nothing on paper that's wrong with this. Is a really good cruiser. It's just a solid performer. It doesn't have any outstanding quality outside of its accuracy. This is the most accurate firing cruiser I have ever played in this game. I mean, and I played them all. And this thing takes the cake. If you aim correctly, you're going to hit the target, right? It won't always penetrate, and sometimes it'll shatter and ricochet, but you're going to hit the target, all right? Now, so what do you got? Well, it's pretty survivable. You got 58,600 points. It's not real good. I put Andrew Cunningham, Andrea, well, it says Andrea because I got the female names, because, yeah, Rose Fisher sounds better than Bob Fisher on the Audacious, right? And when you got a picture of a girl. But I digress. Okay, this is Andrew Cunningham, and he is the commander I put on the Goliath for now. Okay, he's really more of a carrier guy, but I put him on there. So anyway, this thing does not have a tremendous amount of health. It has great artillery. It has 12 9.2-inch guns, right? And the secondaries are nothing to sneeze at either. Is it as powerful as the Stalingrad? No. Is it as powerful as the Yoshino? No. Is it as powerful as the Puerto Rico? No. Those have 12-inch guns. This has almost battleship guns. So it's a little bit better than 8-inch, but it's not as powerful as 12-inch. But it doesn't need to be because it's so damn accurate. It also comes standard equipped with torpedoes. Right, that's not an option. You don't have to wrangle with the dealership on this one, right? It comes with 2 4 torpedo launchers on both sides, and as on all British ships, you can single fire these. And they have a range of 10 kilometers, and they do a decent speed of 62 knots. So torpedoes are good. Are you going to go out there as a torpedo boat? No. This is a, oh my God, there's a battleship with 97,000 health. I need to chunk it. And that's the kind of weapon the torpedoes are. All right. AA defense, no slouch. 82, considering that the average aircraft rating of a Tier 10 aircraft carrier like the Audacious here is 76, 75. You're in good shape, okay? So any aircraft, you're going to shoot down a bunch of planes if they come after you. Will they get through? Probably, but you're going to take a good chunk of them out. Maneuverability, it's decently okay fast. It's 33 knots. It's not going to break any world speed records. It turns very well, right? Its rudder shift is okay. I've improved it a little. I think, yeah, I improved it on this one with upgrades. Concealment, 11 kilometers isn't bad as standard, right? And I think I spec'd this guy for concealment. Yes, I did. So that brought it down a little bit. But with the camouflage and the concealment expert and the concealment mod, you're going to be okay on the ship as far as concealment goes. And I think 11 is about the most you're going to get out of it. Okay. So overall, you've got a very, very solid cruiser, right? It doesn't, the only thing outstanding about this cruiser is its accuracy. And you'll see that because I'm going to take this into a co-op game. I'm going to show you what it's capable of doing and how much damage it can very quickly rack up on this cruiser. I play kind of suicidal, but you'll see that. Okay. Now, what did I put on this thing for upgrades? Well, let's take a look at what it's got available, right? All right. So your ammunition and consumables, it does come with high explosive. Nothing fancy there. right? It comes with armor piercing, and it comes with your standard torpedoes. You can't upgrade those. All right. Consumables, you've got your repair party, you've got your damage control, and you can have either hydro or defensive fire. You don't need defensive fire. Take the hydro. It's going to help you. Okay? All right. So, upgrades. What did I do? Well, I did it kind of like a battleship. Main armaments mod 1, damage control mod 1, aiming systems mod 1. And here's where I went a little bit off. I did steering gears mod 1 instead of, damage control system mod 2. Because this is a cruiser, it does get the damage mitigation that cruisers get. So you're not going to be on fire very long. So I just decided to go ahead with steering gears mod 1, and it does very, very well. I went with concealment 1, and you're like, well, why didn't you get all these other fancy things? Well, there's a reason for that. If you look at the concealment tools tip, it's see at the bottom, dispersion of shells fired by enemies attacking your ship by 5%. That's good. That in combination with the camouflage, which stacks, will give you a 10% dispersion increase on the enemy shooting at you. So that's a good thing. Them missing you is always a good thing. And because British cruisers tend to have slow reloads, I went ahead and put Main Battery Mod 3 on here. That's not anything to be afraid of, guys, because this thing can hit very accurately at long range. So you don't need turrets that can whip around in a second. And besides, your captain skill for the main battery turret will mitigate most of that. So you don't have to worry about it. So I would highly suggest Main Battery Mod 3, decrease the reload time on this ship. Okay? All right, so that's what I went with upgrades. Why did I want the dispersion? Well, look at the Citadel on this ship. Yeah. Okay, sits right here, right? That's the armor belt. The Citadel is right here. Da, 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 da. That's the Citadel, right? So if we erase all of this, da, 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 right here, and the deck armor, that's your Citadel. It sits high up out of the water, right? Pretty high. This part right here, this little beast, sits over the water, and this is all Citadel. So you get broadside with this ship, you're doing something desperately wrong because it will get nailed, and you don't have a lot of health to play with. So that's why I said dispersion is important. You want more dispersion that things fired at this ship. Is it a brawler? It can be. Is it a long-range sniper? Most definitely. Okay? So I'm going to take it in co-op. You can see what it can do. And I'll talk to you then. All right. All right. Co-op battle. And fortunately, the most I'm going to see here is a Tier 8. So, like I said, I just want to show you what this ship is capable of doing. And it unlike other cruisers, it looks functional. It looks kind of blocky, like it was purpose built for what it does. It has really doesn't have pretty lines to it. It's not like a racing yacht like the Italian cruisers are. It's just a good, solid, functional cruiser. You will not regret working your way up to Tier 10 in this line. You're going to have a good time with this cruiser. Okay? But again, as I've said 100 times before, most of your time in these types of games are spent getting to and from the fight. Now, we're on the Epicenter map, which Wargaming insists is staying in the game in spite of almost everybody I know complaining about this particular mode of battle. All right? So, also, if you look at the map, it kind of looks like a smiley face. You got the islands down there, and you got the two eyes and the nose. So, anyway, I don't put a smiley face on this map. I don't particularly like this map, but there are plenty of islands to jink around and hide around and move around. So move into the outer zone. Yay. I know this is the exciting part of the battle, right? My apologies, guys, but I want to show you what it can do. So we're cruising along. We're up at about max speed, 33 knots, and the enemy's going to start popping up here. Their destroyers always show up first, which is why I always preload high explosive at the beginning of a battle because odds are the first thing you're going to see is either an angled battleship or a destroyer. And firing high armor piercing at a destroyer, while it may do some damage, it's not going to delete the darn thing. All right. So the first thing I see off to my left, as soon as it gets around here, is a Kagero or Kagero. I'm sorry, I'm all.
Enemy force sighted on the horizon.
So I'm going to take a shot at
Enemy
him,
destroyer detected.
give him a lead of 10, but I didn't aim correctly. I should have given him a lead of 12 or 13, right? So the shots fell behind him. That's a Kitakaze, I stand corrected. All right, and this Kitakaze in front of me has decided he's going to sit there and shoot at me. Now, you'll notice that I'm not taking a whole lot of damage. I'm angled correctly, and this is going to get even more pronounced when the update comes out tomorrow.
The ship is on fire!
Notice it just nailed it. It hits where you aim it. The dispersion is just not that
Problem
pronounced.
solved, sir!
Enemy cruiser sighted.
So he starts me on fire.
Enemy
Not
battleship
something on
detected.
a cruiser that I like to
Enemy
be on
destroyer
fire,
sunk.
especially when there's a number of ships shooting at me. So I take out that destroyer, and lo and behold, there's a Minotaur over here, passing behind that island, but he's giving me some shots. Now I'm in a quandary. I've got a broadside to my left. I got a broadside to my right. What's the bigger threat? In my opinion, it was the one to the right, the Minotaur. He can pump out a heck of a lot of shells in a very short period of time. Okay? So I'm going to mitigate that damage by turning into the Minotaur. Swing my turrets around. They are not exactly fast, even without any of the skills and whatnot. And I take a shot at the Minotaur, get some hits. If you aim correctly in this ship, you're going to hit your target. Okay? So I start a fire there. There's a Des Moines. Oh shit, there's a Des Moines. Yeah, right. Just boom. Alright. Almost take him completely out. He didn't catch all my torpedoes. Right? And I give him a couple of shots. Look at the damage start to
The ship
rack
is on
up
fire.
this ship. Okay? Des Moines
Forces
gone.
proceed to the
What's
base.
next? Okay, over to my left, there's a Torpedoes. Okay? So, that's a threat. Torpedoes is going to cause a lot of damage to me, and I'm broadside to him. So it's my own fault. Okay, secondaries are wailing away at me. Right? So I give the Torpedoes a shot, and get a hit. Like I said, you're going to hit
Torpedoes,
what you
direct
aim at if you aim correctly. So I give him another shot, start a fire. Going to launch some torps at him. I know at this point I'm pretty much doomed. By the way, the heel on this ship is a British heel, which means you're pretty much going to print another ship, right? But he nails me. But do those torps hit? Do they hit? Do they hit? Because co-op is very good. The bots are very good at avoiding torpedoes, but no, all four hit him, and I end up with well over 100,000 damage. We end up winning the game. It's co-op after all, and that's the Goliath. So, get the ship, guys. Until next time, be good to each other and have a great, great day.